Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. My name is Sergio Romero. I'm a principal dancer, ballet coach and founder of the Be Your Best Ballet Academy. Today we're going to talk about how to know if you are training correctly, because this is one of the questions that most of you ask me the most, and it is, how do I know if I'm in the right path? How do I know if I'm applying corrections the right way? Maybe in your school or your company there are so many other dancers in the studio and your teacher cannot really guide you. He cannot go or she cannot go one-on-one to you to tell you what's the path that you have to follow, or if the things that you are doing are being done the right way. And so we are going to go through some points today that might help you understand if you are doing it correctly or not. First point, I know it's going to sound strange for many or maybe most of you, but it is that you start to have more questions instead of expecting answers. And this is something very common and very normal. Most of the dancers around the world are always trying to find what's the right answer, is always trying to find the solution or the fastest way to get where they want to get. Or is this exercise really helping to do 4 pirouettes today? And let me tell you that the thing that will really make you grow as an artist, because we are not just performing steps or we are not executing steps, but we are artists. And the thing that will help you the most is that if the training that you are doing every day is making you question yourself more things. If it's making you question, or am I really doing the basics right? Or am I really doing everything that I'm thinking about? Or is it really this the best way I can do? Maybe there is other way, maybe I can try in a different way, maybe I can try spotting in a different way. If you have more questions than the expectation of answers, then that will mean that you are on the right path. And it is not that you don't have to look for the answers, it's just the expectation that everything that you do needs to have a result. We are not in the studio for results, but we are in the studio to question yourself. How can you be better? How can you do things different? And so as a consequence, you will end up dancing better. The second sign is that your body is actually adapting and is not surviving. Many dancers around the world are in this surviving mode in which they are not really moving forward or moving backwards, but they are just trying to stay as healthy as possible or to stay in a level of technique that is okay for them to continue in the season. But you are not this type of dancer, or you don't want to be this type of dancer. You want to always be in the chase of improvement, always trying to be your best and always trying to find ways to develop yourself as a dancer. Or if you have been trying to correct something but nothing changed for months, then that's a sign that maybe there is something wrong in your training, or not wrong, but something that is not really working for you. Your daily training should create change in you, changing the way that you see things, changing the way that you work, and change the way your muscle also is working. And so it's important to have different types of classes, and it's important to always, as we say in the first point, question yourself, why are you doing the things the way that you are doing them? The third signal is that you can repeat the things that you are training for. That will mean that your training is being effective in that sense. Because it's not the same to one day just go in the studio, you feel great and you did a triple pirouette, or you did, I don't know, whatever, any exercise in a good level, if after you cannot repeat the same on the stage. We cannot forget that we are training, we do our everyday training to build for the performance. So the work that we do in the studio, it has to have a consequence later in our rehearsals and in our performances. If there is a big disconnection there, if you cannot repeat the things that you do in class, in rehearsals or on the performances, then there is something missing, there is some link that we don't have. So some questions that you can ask yourself for this point is, can I do it again? Can I do it when I'm tired? Or can I do this when I'm under pressure? Consistency is proof, and this is going to help you a lot, and it's going to be a sign that your training is being done great. The fourth point is that pain and struggle is not the same thing. This is such an important difference that we have to make. You need to understand your body enough to know if what you're feeling, it is that you are just struggling. So for example, you feel tired, your muscles are feeling like they are working so hard, or they feel this fatigue. Or maybe you feel frustrated because you cannot do well the coordination, or you cannot do well the exercise. That is kind of normal. This is part of our training. I'm not saying that being fatigued is part of the training, but it is a struggle, and this is something that is part of our lives as ballet dancers. What is not normal is to feel pain in the articulations, to have swollen knee, to feel pinching in your hips, for example. All of these things are pain that needs to be assessed and that you need to treat with a professional. And so this is going to impact so much your daily training and in the long run. A dancer that knows when is enough, when you need to stop, when you need to rest, when you need to reassess the work that you're doing. It goes for many, many years and it has a very long career. The number 5 is that your basics are actually improving the bigger technique. So you are building in from the bar, from the class, your basic technique, and this is making the hardest steps improve. And so you are not being focused on how many periods I can do, but because your plie has improved, because your under awareness has improved, your tendu has improved, then suddenly all the other difficult steps are improving. This is a great sign that the work that you are doing is being done well. One more time, your classwork cannot be disconnected for what you have to do later on. And so all these long bars that maybe you feel like this is so frustrating to do is being effective and is helping you improve later on. And so you go on stage much more confident and you suddenly feel like things are not so difficult to do because your baseline is being raised. Your basic technique is being improved. And the number 6, and for me the most important, or maybe the second most important, is that you are becoming independent. You are not being dependent of a teacher. Suddenly you start to focus on yourself and you can start to feel the patterns. Oh, when I train this way, when I do like this, when I warm up like this, then I feel the difference here. Oh, this coordination, I can see it very clear now. Or I can see what are my defaults when I do this type of variation or this ballet. When you start to be so self-aware that you can auto-correct yourself, then it's a great sign. Awareness is one of the biggest markers for growth. And the last point that I want to make for today is that you don't need the mirror. You start to feel dance more than see dance. And this, what I mean with this is that you are not so fixated looking for the result that is in the mirror. You are not trying to auto-judge yourself because of the image that you see of yourself in the mirror, but you start to feel dance inside of yourself. Instead of doing a pique arabesque and look in the mirror with a side eye to know if the line is correct, you feel the line is correct. Then you can start to focus about all the things because you feel the dance, but your mind is not in the dance. Your mind, I mean in the basic of dance. Your mind is in storytelling, or is in the connection with the partner, or it is in any of the thing that just the base technique. So I know that this is very easy to say but very difficult to do it, and especially when you don't have anyone around you that can help you with this journey. This is why I created the Be Your Best Ballet Academy, and specifically the pro tier. Pro doesn't mean that it's for professional dancers, but it's a professional way to attack or to assess the dancer's journey and dancer's career. And so you see the list that we have done today, and this is something that I help the dancers that I work with. So we can look at the training, we can look at the patterns, and we can answer the questions and see where do they need the guidance, where do they need the help, and me, myself, I can help them with all the answers that they need for this. So for example, it might be your case that you don't know how to improve the basics, and so your bigger technique can be improved. This is something I help dancers with. Or for example, you can do your pirouettes in class, but somehow when you go to rehearsals or performance, you are not able to do the same. And so I can help you with that as well. This is just 2 examples of what I help dancers with. So if you are one dancer that is struggling with all of this, if you don't know how to assess yourself in your ballet training, you don't know how you can improve, you don't know how you can make the leap to become a better dancer than you are today, then you can contact me, or you can go to my website, beyourbestballetacademy.com, and you can check for the pro tier and we can start working together. So that's all for this video. I hope you found something that you didn't know, or that I opened your mind into the possibility that you can really become the best dancer you can be. So I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.